let's transition to the NBA and let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. I had a question on Twitter. It's the Wise Guys question of the day. The question is simple. It's simple. Will the Warriors win the West? Simple. Yes or no. And right now, the voters, it's a 51%. Voters say it's a 51% chance that the Warriors will win the West, and a 49% of people say the Warriors will not win the West. So that is the results from the Twitter page of the Wise Guys question of the day. You can still vote. Go on the Wise Guys Twitter page, Wise Guys _H, also on Facebook, Wise Guys, and vote. Will the Warriors win the West? Call into the show and give me your opinion. 513-203-8655. 513-203-8655. Now, Wednesday night in the Bay, the Warriors beat the Pelicans 120-109. Steph Curry had 39 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. So, when you ask the question, if the Warriors can win the Western Conference, I would say it's two things that need to happen for the Warriors to win the West and represent the West in the NBA Finals this year. The number one thing that needs to happen for the Warriors to win the West this year is they got to get back Andrew Wiggins. Last year in the NBA Finals, you can make a legitimate argument that if it wasn't for Steph Curry being the best player and winning the NBA Finals MVP, if Steph Curry didn't win the NBA Finals MVP, it wasn't going to be Klay Thompson. It wasn't going to be Jordan Poole. Damn sure it wasn't going to be Draymond Green after his performance in the NBA Finals. I believe that if it wasn't for Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins would have been the NBA Finals MVP last year. Andrew Wiggins did a great job last year defending Jason Tatum. You think Jason Tatum all of a sudden forgot how to play basketball? No, it was Andrew Wiggins' defensive tenacity that made it tough on Jason Tatum in the NBA Finals last year. And I believe that Andrew Wiggins, he now has the role that Andre Iguodala used to have on the Warriors championship teams in the early part of their dynasty. Before Kevin Durant arrived in Golden State, it was Andre Iguodala who guarded the opposing team's best player in the NBA Finals. In 2015 and 2016, when the Warriors were in the finals against the Cavaliers, they had Iggy on LeBron in the NBA Finals. And I believe that Andrew Wiggins is now playing the role that Andre Iguodala used to play with the Warriors. It's now Wiggins. Wiggins is now the new Andre Iguodala, and he has a similar role. And he's younger, and he has great athleticism, and he guards the opposing team's best player. And I believe that his value has went up significantly now that Andre Iguodala is out of his prime and pretty much just on the team as a veteran presence now. Iggy, he's on the team as a veteran presence now. Iggy's no longer a true contributor in their rotation. So it's Andrew Wiggins now his role to take on that Andre Iguodala role. So I think in order for the Warriors to represent the West in the NBA Finals this year, one of the things that has to happen is Andrew Wiggins be available. If they don't have Andrew Wiggins, they don't have a chance at being able to make the NBA Finals. Now, the other thing that needs to happen for the Warriors to represent the West in the NBA Finals, they got to get better on the road. They have been pathetic this season away from the Chase Center. It's like when they leave San Francisco, they forget how to play basketball. The Warriors are not the same team on the road like they are at home. Let's look at their road record compared to their home record, shall we? Statistically, the Warriors at home at the Chase Center, they are 31-8. On the road, they're 9-29. At home, they average 119 points per game. On the road, they average 117 points per game. At home, they average 46 rebounds per game. On the road, they average 42 rebounds per game. At home, they have a plus 7.7 points per game differential. On the road, it's a minus 6.7. So for whatever reason, they are pathetic away from the Chase Center. I know last week they had a big-time win in Dallas against the Mavericks, but the Mavericks, they have been struggling lately. The Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving experiment has been a failure so far. So I can't really give the Warriors that much credit for winning in Dallas, considering how the Mavericks have been struggling since Kyrie arrived in Dallas. So that road win doesn't have much significance. They beat the Rockets on the road last week as well, but they've been pathetic on the road. And if you want to be a true contender for an NBA championship, you got to be able to win on the road in the NBA playoffs. And right now, if the playoffs started today, they would be on the road in the first round against the Sacramento Kings. And I think that the Warriors are better than the Kings, but Sacramento, they haven't been in the playoffs in a very, very long time. The Kings have a great home court advantage that they can use. And I think the Warriors would struggle in a playoff series against the Kings because they can't win on the road. But I think those are two major factors in the Warriors being able to represent the West in the NBA Finals this year. The availability of Andrew Wiggins and them improving on the road and being able to win on the road. And you look at the Western Conference, the West is so bottled up right now. There's so many teams in the West. The Nuggets, they struggle defensively. The Grizzlies, they're immature as a basketball team. The Kings are inexperienced. The Suns with Kevin Durant, they don't have much depth. The Clippers don't have Paul George right now. Pelicans don't have Zion. Lakers, they got LeBron back and AD. They are dangerous, but we got to see if they can play at this level consistently. But I definitely think the Warriors could win the West. Considering the Western Conference right now, I don't see a favorite in the Western Conference right now. I don't. I think anybody could beat anybody in the Western Conference right now. And I think you got to include the Golden State Warriors, the defending NBA champions. You cannot count out Steph Curry and company. Steph Curry this year, the man's averaging 30 points per game on 50% shooting from the floor. That's Steph Curry this year. And he's been sensational this year. He's been sensational, having another great season this year. And I think it's really, really more impressive what Steph is doing right now for the Warriors, considering he's their best player by far. In years prior, he had Kevin Durant. He had Klay Thompson prior to his injuries as the second best player on those Warriors teams. Now, the second best player on this Warriors team, is it Jordan Poole? Is it Andrew Wiggins? We don't really know. So I think what Steph Curry is doing right now is even more impressive compared to what he did in the early part of his career. This year, he's shooting 43% from three-point range. We know he's going to be a sniper from three-point range. So the Warriors are definitely contenders in the West, and they could easily represent the West in the NBA Finals once again. That matchup against the Kings will be lit in the first round. It's going to be lit. It's going to be exciting. they're in the same geography like area, like for geography standpoint, they're right there in the same area. So I know some of those Warriors fans will travel to Sacramento when the Warriors have to play against the Kings, but I definitely think the Warriors can represent the West in the NBA Finals.